I'm Sanket Shah, and today we're going to discuss something related to print ads. Let's call this a small workshop where we'll deal into various aspects as to how a print ad is being made. Let us understand the nature of print ads first. Print ads are those sorts of communications where you do not have a background music, there is no audio or video effect, there is no lighting, textures or other details involved that can enhance a particular message. Print ads work in a way where there is text, there's a visual content, and there is a reason or an ideated concept behind that when fuses together forms a great story. And this is what we're going to learn as to how a great balance between all of these three in different proportions can give us great results. Before we move into understanding how will we create a great print ad, let's understand a very simple concept. It's called a campaign. Now, how is a campaign different from a single print ad? It's very simple. That if a print ad is a frame, a campaign is the entire movie. So, what does a campaign consist of? It consists of a theme that comes in the form of text, art and color. When all these three sync together, their amalgamation is called a campaign. So before we begin the print ad, let's understand the two frames. Number one is the frame of thought. Now the moment you have an objective that has to be adhered to a print ad, you need to focus on the center line as to what do you want to say, how do you want to say, and what is the structure of your sentence or your body copy or the theme. How do you want to frame this? The moment you frame them, it is called ideation. This process is very important before you move into the physical execution of the print ad. The second frame of mind that has to be kept is the physical frame. Whether you want to go a vertical print ad or you want to do a horizontal print ad. Today we have modern executions of print ads in various forms, but the basic two layouts of a good print ad are a horizontal or a vertical in the ratio of 16:9 or a typical A3 size horizontal or vertical size of the paper. We have spoken about three major elements that form a print ad: text, graphic or the image, and the color palette. Let us explore each of these elements individually now. Text. Text is a very important aspect within the print ad because it is something that people read. What they read is what they understand and comprehend. Your message is maximum conveyed through the text and the image. But the text is more important because there is a visual aspect in terms of reading. Now, we need to understand that when text is important to a level where people make an understanding out of it, the texture of the font, the size, the layout, the presentation is very important. You need to place your most important text right in the middle, right in the place where people can read it, unless the text layout demands it to be in another space. So we need to put the primary detail in the prime areas, secondary and tertiary details at the bottom halves where people do not have too much interaction with the image altogether. We will now discuss the visual aspect that lies within a print ad. A visual brings a lot of value to the story that you're trying to say. The moment a person sees a visual, there is a certain interpretation of their own towards it. There are two types of visuals that flow into a print ad. One, a graphically generated one, and second, a photograph. Now both of these can be used together also, and you can create a great print ad. To understand how a graphic or a picture needs to be used, you need to understand two rules that you can go through online. It's available. One is rule of thirds and two, the golden ratio. Once you have an understanding of how a picture is being used, what are the elements that are forming a picture and in what ratio they need to be shot, I'm sure you'll do a great job in executing all these pictures along with the text that is available. It is important to note one very important thing, that there needs to be a right balance between the visual and the text. You could go individual or you can use them together, but when there is a duality of the two, you need to create a great balance. Because certain times your picture has to convey the complete story because your copy might be average. Or on another occasion you might have a situation where your copy is great and your visual is average. So using both of them together you can create a great concept, but the right rules have to be followed of understanding what the copy is trying to say or what your story is all about. Once you understand that aspect, your visual and the text can balance and flow in nicely. We now come to the most interesting part of the print ad, the color. It really defines your print ad, it brings the elegance, the finish, the tone of the print ad is set through the color. We need to understand two very important things within color. Number one, if you're using a monochrome or a grayscale or a dark background, and if your text has to be placed right there, then you could use your text in different vibrant colors. But if your background or the image is in vibrant colors, then probably your text should fill in terms of blacks, whites or the grays. Because the color balance and the color toning is very important. What a person sees brings in a lot of understanding of the print ad itself. It is important to convey your print ad through the right colors. Certain times only a single color can convey the entire tone or the emotion of the print ad. One last very important tip within the color department would be using the CMYK palette of colors. You need to make sure that even though you might create a print ad within the RGB palette, you need to convert it to CMYK while it goes for print, because a printing system does not understand RGB. CMYK are the only identity colors that it understands in prints. So I'm sure combining all these three elements, you would do a great print ad. All the best. Wait, before we leave, there are three important things we need to discuss. Number one, what? What are we doing? We are creating awareness. Brilliant. Number two, how are we doing it? We are doing it through the medium of a print ad. Excellent. But the most important element is the why. Why are we doing what we are doing? We are doing it because we need to convey a story. We are trying to create a difference. We believe in a certain cause, and that is why we do it. Till you guys don't believe in why you're doing it, it's not going to be easy to finish the entire print ad. Let's say, for example, the national flag, a very important element. It has a great structure, it has great color balances, and we like it not because of these reasons. There is a why. We love our country, we have the respect for the national flag, there is a story behind it, and hence we like it. That's the why factor behind the national flag. Let me cite another practical scenario that I had been into. At a certain fest, we were asked to create a print ad for euthanasia. And we were being given three colors, yellow, red and blue. And a nice chart paper to design whatever we wanted to. We tried different combinations of colors, text, layout, drawing, illustrations, but nothing seemed to work out. And eventually we did something really different. We took an empty chart paper and presented it to the panel. And we just made a simple copy at the bottom saying, there is no color that can define death. Thank you.